I went out previewing several houses yesterday and finally decided that the one that was worth coming back to with a camera this morning was one that's just down the street from my own house in the same subdivision. This is one that I'm very familiar with. It's a 1,711 square foot house, 3-bedroom. The original buyer on it was an agent who had the idea that he was going to flip it. He really made a dumb move in that he bought it at exactly the wrong time, late 2005. He bought it with a nothing down, interest only garbage mortgage, and then he came in and spent probably $25,000 on upgrades when the typical upgrades in this community were maybe $6,000 on this house. So he's got way too much money that was involved with it there, and he also had a limitation. He was going to try to flip the house, but when he bought it, there were deed restrictions on it that he couldn't put it back on the market for at least a year after close. So he was stuck with it there for a year in a declining market. The first time I was ever in this house was probably late 2006 when it first came on the market, and the owner at the time was running an open house in it. And I was very impressed with it at the time because they came in with some, like I said, some really impressive upgrades on it. The entire first floor has good quality ceramic tile laid on a bias or on a diagonal. The carpet is a slight upgrade from your standard construction grade short shag, very similar, but he paid extra money in order to get something that looks very similar but a little heavier. The house has a fireplace here in the living room, which is an unusual upgrade in this subdivision, and again, it's a fairly expensive upgrade, but it makes a good selling point for either a rental or a house to be sold. He came in, and after he moved in, and put some plantation shutters in, very nice wood plantation shutters, which are very expensive and a really nice upgrade. You can see here that there is some damage on one of the plantation shutters on the back patio door, but it's something that should be easily repaired by just gluing a dowel in it. The upgrades in the kitchen that were available in this subdivision were very limited. The cabinets were stock. The only thing you could really do with them would be to choose the color. You could either get ochre, maple, and then you could get different color or shades there. But he did get Corian countertops, which was a rather expensive upgrade versus the standard HPL. And he also came in with an RO system and a very nice upgraded faucet. See, you have a freestanding island here in the middle and a relatively large kitchen. It's a very nice floor plan. My house is bigger, it's a 4-bedroom, and I actually like this floor plan better, but it was just, the other one was more practical for me. You have a laundry room off of the kitchen. They gave a free washer dryer when they sold these houses, but apparently somebody carried them off. The only other appliance that is missing is a refrigerator that you'd have to replace. And one upgrade that I think he probably should have gotten is a microwave, and he did not. All I have is just the standard fan. The backyard is a little larger than the average Las Vegas backyard in southwest Las Vegas, but not much. It's just kind of a standard backyard. The one thing I did not remember was that it has a covered patio. This upgrade by itself was about an $8,000 to $10,000 upgrade, which when I said that this one had $20,000 to $25,000 in upgrades, that was not including this covered patio. The paint is not bad, but you may be able to see that there are some minor scuffs. Could take some touch up on it. It does have two-tone paint, which was not an available upgrade on these houses, but apparently he came in and repainted it after the fact. You have a decent sized master bedroom. Again, the two-tone paint. No ceiling fans. You have a 3/4 bath off of the master with the shower. The master bath has a walk-in closet. There is a separate WC. And you have double sinks, which I don't remember, but I think that was an upgrade on these houses, but I'm not sure on that. And when I was here yesterday, I checked out everything except for one extra bedroom out of the total of 3 bedrooms. And the one I didn't check is the one that's definitely going to have to be repainted. Just to give you some more background on this house, the agent that bought it, when he first put it back on the market, he came in and priced it over $330,000. Now, the most any of the 4 bedrooms in this subdivision ever sold for on the resale market, the first one sold for $340,000, and that was overpriced. The most they were ever, the real value on the 4 bedroom was about $325,000 to $330,000. Now, this smaller 1,117 square foot house may have, at the very peak of the market, been worth about $311,000. He came in overpriced. He sat on it there because I don't think he had the money to drop it. Rather than taking a loss, he sat on it trying to get his money back out of it and make some money off of it. When he finally did drop the price, the market had deteriorated to the point that it wasn't worth nearly as much. It eventually came in as a short sale. He priced the short sale too high, but he was able to rent it out after that. So it stayed rented for a while, came back on the market, but he eventually let it get foreclosed, so it's a bank-owned property now. These right now are renting in around the $1,100 to $1,200 range. There have been 3 that have rented so far this year. One that rented for $1,100, one rented for $1,150, and one rented for $1,300. I think this one might be able to go for the $13,000 because it's a lot nicer house than the others in the same floor plan. But just being realistic, you're probably looking at $1,100 to $1,200, somewhere in there. So that's the house they're asking $129,900. One of them was in really bad shape in the same floor plan that sold for $115,000, but typically they're going for about $130,000.